Hello, Aquarius, and welcome to Soul Guidance with Adriana. I'm a transformational life coach and abundance consultant who helps you choose growth. I've got an intuitive message for your spiritual journey this week. I'm actually going to save this card for last, but it's a very pretty card, isn't it? All right, let's start with the Chariot. This is your energy going into the week, and this is a forward-moving energy. It feels like the wind is in your sails and there have been a lot of things unfolding and going well. This card for me right now is carrying a message of balance, being sure that in all of this forward movement, you're still taking time to have your moments of stillness, to have your moments of reflection and contemplation about what's really important. The danger with this energy is that it can become over assertive and we become obsessed with moving forward and moving and moving and moving and achieving to the way that we're kind of forcing our way forward. And sometimes we just need to drop the reins, right? And either let the horses graze or let them just go where they want. Not feel like we have to drive things so much. So interesting, this idea of balance coming up for you. All right, beneficial energy, Queen of Swords, and challenging energy, Justice. This is really fascinating. Look at these colors. They have very similar colors on the bottom. So we're talking about aspects of the same, different aspects of the same thing. Okay. What these cards are asking you to do, Aquarius, is to really trust, assert, and use your own perspective. Go for what may seem like the subjective human perspective of what your experience is, what your intuition is telling you, especially what your intuition is telling you, and what you think needs to be done. Justice is more of an impartial force that looks at balance and fairness. And there's something about your situation where making everything balanced is not going to make everything level. Making everything fair isn't actually going to make everything fair. It sounds really funny, doesn't it? But because there's something about the strength of your own perceptions over what you feel might be fair. So perhaps, if you have a subjective reaction to something, you might say, well, but that's not really objective. That's not really fair. That has no place in being there because this is just my subjective experience. But these cards are actually asking you to value the wisdom of your own perception, what you're seeing with your own eyes. Okay, there may be an element of, okay, this isn't quite balanced or this isn't quite fair, but that's on purpose because you're going to be receiving information that perhaps not other people can see. And if you kind of quell that information to try to make it okay with everyone else, try to soften it or try to lessen it, then your power is going to not only diminish, but the gifts that were inherent in that bit of wisdom are going to be lost for everyone. Okay? I'm trying to think if there's an example I can give you, because this is a really interesting split that we're seeing happen here. This is not asking you to become emotional and to go just on your emotional reactions, but it is saying, this is for you to assert, this is my perspective. It may not be completely black and white on paper, but this is my perspective and this needs to come out. There's also a challenge to verbalize what you're thinking and seeing and feeling. Definitely using words to describe this rather than just knowing or feeling. Oh, okay, it's finally coming through. It's important that you speak your mind and you speak your truth because you're assuming on some level that justice will happen on its own. And it won't. It will need to be catalyzed or started by your perception. And then all of a sudden people are like, oh, okay, yeah, that isn't quite fair. This isn't balanced. This isn't right. But because of the way you are, Aquarius, you assume that everyone has those same principles and morals and ethics and values that you do. You assume everyone has them, but they don't. And the Queen of Swords really needs to step forward in her leadership, in your leadership, to say what needs to be said, because justice is not going to be done on its own. Oh, okay. Finally, thank you guys. All right, we've got Queen of Cups to continue your story. They're telling me 3 King of Wands and Prince of Wands. Interesting, all court cards and all leading to a certain place. All right, I feel that this Sagittarius energy here, the Prince of Wands, is the energy of your spoken truth. There are times when wands can be communication just as much as air can swords. So this is the energy of your spoken truth that somehow catches the eye of those that may be in a position to do something about it. Okay, it's like you come riding in with the message and they're, oh, I'm receiving this message. And I'm going to go through to this Queen of Cups here. There is a deeper pattern in this situation that you do have a kind of handle on, a feeling of, you're in touch with it. This guy's not. This leadership, and these could be switched. This could be a man, this could be a woman. But whoever needs to get the message, he's not aware of these undercurrents. He's not aware of what else is going on underneath. This person deals in the here and now. If there's a problem, it deals with it now. It doesn't look to the future to say, well, that could be creating a problem, or we might go this way. This is someone who responds, but doesn't necessarily sense or plan or, it's just a very in the moment kind of response thing. The Queen of Cups is that deeper sense of connection to what's really going on. What I love about these 2 Queen cards is they've got their eyes closed. So there's an inner sensing, an inner knowing. And that's what needs to be brought to light. That's what this King of Wands energy isn't really aware of. Okay, now with all of this, we're going to go back to your first card, which was the Owl. Wisdom, which is so tied to all of the feminine energy cards in this spread. Let me just pull them out for a second. Justice, in fact, there's an owl. You see? Owl friends? There's an owl in there. And we've got wisdom associated with the Queen of Swords as well. Wise Queen of Cups too. It's like the 3 wise women instead of the 3 wise men. Okay. This is asking you, all of these cards together, but this card here is really asking you not to discount the power of your inner wisdom. Yes, your inner wisdom needs to come from facts. Yes, your inner wisdom can involve intuition. It needs to involve everything that's going on, not just one or the other. But trust yourself, because when we look at this owl at first glance, it looks like just an owl. But deeper inside, we see a woman with an owl. And then if we go back a perspective, we see these open wings. So even though this owl is closed, it's part of a bigger consciousness. It's part of a bigger owl. So you're seeing these different levels of wisdom that other people may just not be seeing. And it's definitely your job to communicate and to let other people know exactly what's happening here. Both of these, I just want to mention in case this has special personal meaning for you, both of these cards kind of hearken to Athena, the Justice, the feminine warrior with the sword, and the owl, Nike being a symbol of Athena. So if that means something personal to you, I just wanted to share that. But with that, we're going to conclude your reading. Thank you so much for joining me, Aquarius. It's always great to see you every week, and I appreciate your time and energy in attending this reading and sharing this reading with me. If you'd like to leave a comment, it's always great to hear from you. And I do encourage you to check out my new available solstice readings at soulguidancewithadriana.com. There's also a link in the description. I will look forward to seeing you next time.